So here we are out on the San Francisco Bay Trail, just as you cross into Mountain View here, and then Sunnyvale to the south, or kind of east, I guess. Trail kind of runs southeast to northwest. So yeah, this section of the trail here apparently took, at least 10 years of negotiation and working with the different entities involved, trying to get permission and access rights to this little stretch here. I'll put a link in the video description. A guy wrote up a pretty good article on some of the the stuff that went on, but I think this has been open for 15, 20 years, something like that. But this is Lockheed back here behind the fence. And then it's also NASA Ames Research Center. And I think it was mainly the Lockheed property here to get the permission to run this little section of trail behind the Lockheed property. Took just an immense amount of negotiation. So this was like a section of the Bay Trail that was held up for a long time. But this week I decided to come up here, and I wanted to check out a different route farther up here. This is Mountain View in here, and then you eventually end up at Shoreline Park in Mountain View, and then beyond that you hit Palo Alto, and they have, I think they call it Baylands Park. And I want to try to find a different route around Baylands Park. But yeah, we got a pretty nice day. It's a little cool today, a little breezy. Hope you can hear me over the wind. So yeah, back in the early 90s, before this trail was open, I used to work up in Mountain View here along Shoreline Boulevard. And back then, I used to ride way out here on the levees. You could come in at Sunnyvale at the water treatment plant, and you'd go way the heck out there. There were open gates. I don't know if it was actually legal to be out there, but they had gates open, and there were no maps or anything. You just had to kind of find your way around, and ultimately you would ride way back in on this far levee out there. There was probably about 6-8 months where they wanted us to come in and work on Saturdays. We had a new product we were introducing. So I figured, hey, if I'm coming in on Saturday on my own time, I'm going to have a little fun. I'd take off about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning and ride out here on Saturday mornings and get into the office there 10, 11 o'clock and work for half a day or whatever they wanted us there for. But yeah, at least I'd get my little bit of exercise in. They blocked off a lot of this. You used to be able to ride all over there, but you couldn't ride here because this was closed. But it used to be fun, yeah. You just ride way out in the bay on these old levee roads. And this used to all be salt ponds. Cargill and Leslie Salt used to have all their salt ponds out here in the 90s. But anyway, yeah, let's go that way. We've got to ride into the wind for probably a good 10 miles. And then hopefully we'll get up to the Palo Alto section and I'll fire the camera up again. Okay, so we came over from there. That's the Shoreline Park area in Mountain View. And then this is where the Bay Trail comes around. And right here there's a junction. If you go out this way, you're into Palo Alto, the Baylands Park. And right there the trail turns to gravel. It's paved here, but gravel there. And about 1.5 years ago, Palo Alto City Council passed an ordinance banning e-bikes on unpaved trails in the city, and that's that. Currently, I don't think e-bikes are permitted out here. Bicycles are okay. There's a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit, which is fine. They're talking about trying to reduce that to 10 miles an hour, which is unlike anybody else. Everybody else seems to be 15. So this is the Mountain View Trail. E-bikes are okay here, although these are all paved trails. But anyway, if you're riding the e-bike here, when you get to this junction, you need to go out this way here. So you need to follow this one off that way, and you come out over here on Bayshore Road, which is the frontage road. So let me show you what that looks like up there. So I guess they call this the Adobe Creek Loop Trail. And yeah, that's where the trail comes out of Shoreline Park over there. And then the bike path basically runs up here. I think this is called Bayshore Road. It's the frontage road to Highway 101, which is really busy today. But yeah, you go up this way. I've done part of this trail here up a ways. And then I haven't seen this. I guess they just opened this. This is the pedestrian bridge over 101. I think that's new since I've been here last time. But yeah, you just follow this trail up. It's along this Bayshore Road, but there's a lot of driveways, so you hit a lot of driveways. But on a weekend, the driveways aren't terribly busy, so you just pretty much ride along here. And then we'll come up to Embarcadero Road, which is a main overcrossing of 101. So when we get to Embarcadero, I'll fire up the camera. There should be a lighted crosswalk to get across there, and then I think you can keep going. Okay, so this is Embarcadero Road, and I think right at the light you can come out the bike path right over there on the other side. There's a crosswalk, or there's a different section of the bike path you can take around outside here, and you come out at that intersection up there and just come across and come back a block. That one's not too bad. I guess I missed this turn off. There was a big group of road bikers that came by, and so I just followed them, and then they took off up this way. So I think you can get through here. On Google Maps it shows bike route, and then it stops, and then it starts again. But I assume since all those road bikes went up there, this goes through. And it's all paved, so if it's paved, it's e-bike legal. So that's what I'm trying to scope out today. Okay, yeah, it looks like this route goes. That little side road and bike path come out right about where the trees begin down there, and you come out and you join the paved trail. You can see there's a couple of bikes over there, and you just come up the paved trail, and the pavement ends right here at this bridge, but that bridge is where you cross over the water, and then you go up a paved trail up that direction. So yeah, I think this is e-bike friendly. Just figured I'd ride this just to check out the route, and it does seem to go through. Yeah, the reason there were so many bikes down there, it looks like they're having a century ride, 100 kilometer ride, and they have an aid station right there where you get onto this levee trail here. So everybody was stopped over there having snacks in the shade. So that's where all the bike riders were going. Gonna try heading up this way towards Ravenswood, and we'll check out, see what it looks like up there. I haven't been up here for a couple of years, I think. Okay, yeah, I decided to come across the Dumbarton Bridge, so I was over on the other side, and then you've got a couple mile climb up to the top, and then you get about a mile or two coasting down the other side. You can see the top of the bridge over there. Trying to get out of the wind a little bit here and the traffic noise. So it was pretty windy. There's always a really heavy crosswind. You're riding on this narrow bike path right next to the traffic, and every time a car comes by, it blocks the wind for a second, and then when it passes, then the wind picks up again. So you're constantly having to correct. You're coming down, you're kind of leaning into the wind, and then a car comes by and the wind stops, and you're just constantly fighting the crosswind. And now you run over this way up the old road and across there, and then you end up going all the way down the east side of the bay, and should be a tailwind all the way back. Way in the distance there, that's the blimp hangar at Moffett Field. So I was riding by there a couple hours ago. Okay, we made it back, came around the bottom of the Bay Trail here along Highway 237. That's the highway right there, and got back to my starting point of the loop. So this was 37 miles roughly. So I'll put an annotation in the video comparing this loop to the all gravel loop that I did a couple years ago. So yeah, I think that's an easier ride. Yes, it was about 4-hour loop, and I did I found 3 geocaches. I looked for 5. So yeah, I did want to check out that e-bike legal version up there. So yeah, it's not quite as nice as riding out around the Baylands gravel trails. You know, it's a little bit, it's a little bit more pleasant. You're out in the, got a lot of birds and water all around, but the section up along Bayshore Road, it's a okay trail. It's just a little noisy because you're 2 lanes away from a busy, Highway 101, which is just roaring with traffic all the time. So that's the only downside, is it's not quite as pleasant. But there's only a mile or 2 of that, and then you cut into Embarcadero, cross that, and then you're back on paved trail, which is, I guess, e-bike legal in Palo Alto. So yeah, it isn't that bad. Yeah, you probably got 15 miles up that side of the bay, and then I think about 7 miles across, and then about 15 miles back. So it's about the same distance on each side. That side is all trails, and this side is all bike lanes. They've added a couple new bike lanes or multi-use lanes, so it's getting a little better on this east side. There's only a certain part that you're riding alongside a road, but other than that, it's actually getting a little better, at least on weekends. It could be pretty busy on weekdays, but anyway, I'm going to pack the camera up and ride on home and grab some dinner. So hope you enjoyed that ride. Nice day for it. It was clear, no smoke. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that e-bike route exploration. So I'll try to post a little bit of the route in the video description, just the part through Palo Alto. That's about the only difference you have to do over my previous route. So check that out, and if you have any questions, post up in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching.